Now, I'm delighted to be joined by the most interesting man in the world, Greg Garza, US international and Atlanta United left back. Greg, you're someone that's travelled all over the world, whether it be from your time in Mexico most recently, to Portugal, to Brazil before that, and then obviously you were raised in the US. How does it feel to be home?
There's no place like home, right? I probably feel a bit more foreign than American, but the American blood runs in me. So as I said, it feels wonderful to be home, and I don't think I could have picked a better spot than Atlanta.
But Greg, do you actually call Atlanta home now? Is that what it is?
You know, I have a lot of tattoos on me, and probably the most important was I have a gypsy, you know, a girl gypsy. I mean, I call myself a gypsy. You know, there's no home sweet home. You know, always moving. You can move every 6 months, every year. That's the beauty of this sport. You know, I've been able to learn 2 different languages. Hopefully, learn a few more on the end of my career as well. But you know, it's been a wonderful run.
How has it been for your family, the whole move?
It's difficult on them. You know, it's a lot of adapting that takes place. You know, learning different languages for them, changing schools for the kids. Those are sacrifices that they make for us, that we can pursue our dreams at such a young age. And you know, I'm hoping to make it in this sport as long as I can, and then after that, just give them everything that I've worked for. You
briefly mentioned your hip injuries, Greg. There must have been some awfully dark days when you were out of action for about a year. Was there ever a point that you thought, I may never play again?
Game of patience. You know, luckily I had a plan B. You know, when I did become pro, I did do college online. You know, got a bachelor's degree and an associate's degree, but I'm glad I did have a plan B, because you never know. It was an injury to where I was bedridden for a couple months, wheelchair after that, crutches, learned how to walk again in a pool. So you know, it was a game of patience, and I didn't really know if I was going to be the same player I was before. But you know, the surgeon who did the surgery on me, he said it was needed. It was needed at that time, or it was probably retiring at a pretty fairly young age. So I'm really glad I did it, and hopefully it saved me a few years on my career.
From watching your games for Atlanta United closely this season, Greg, I must say I've looked at it and said you've taken things from Brazil, say, the silky skills or the work rate of an American as well. Do you think you've taken small things from each of the places you've visited along your career so far?
For sure, yeah. I mean, left home at 12 years old to Brazil, so I have they call it ginga, you know, kind of dancing on the ball. I think I carry that with me to today. Being in Portugal for 5 years, you know, the speed of the game, the swarming and defense, that's where I learned how to defend. I wasn't a defender before I made it to Portugal, so, you know, there are a lot of things that I take from so many different cultures that I've been in. You got the hard-nosed American mentality that goes in every tackle, and probably what led my hips to be the way they are these days. But you know, it's fun to take all those different cultures into perspective and kind of look back at what I've learned.
Let's talk Atlanta United. Tata Martino, you're playing in a system that allows both you at left back, Tyrone Mears at right back, tear forward at every single opportunity. You must be delighted to be in such an attacking team along with such a great manager like Tata.
It's really what I learned probably being in Portugal, you know, playing the 4-3-3 system, to where I was probably getting you know, 10 crosses in a game. So I'm really, you know, excited that I'm back at that, you know, taking me back to old days. And, it's an attacking team, you know. Tyrone can have a cross, and I might be there to finish it. You know, it's pretty odd to see that. You know, it's pretty organized league, MLS, but hopefully we're kind of changing the page a bit.
This weekend, you're taking on New York City FC then, Greg, in Yankee Stadium. Now, tactically speaking, you guys like to play it out of the back. They like to press high up the field. We could see quite a fascinating battle here.
I think they like to do the same thing, you know. I think they're a team that loves to play out of the back as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a possession battle, you know, and I think that they probably experience the same thing with Columbus as well. You know, those are very little teams in this league that like to play out of the back and keep a lot of possession during the game. So it'll definitely be a possession battle, and hopefully we can get the best of it.
What about the whole Yankee Stadium thing, though? You were a baseball fan growing up. You must be excited.
Yankee Stadium. I was a big baseball shortstop player when I was a little kid, so I was probably dreaming of throwing a baseball and not kicking a soccer ball in that stadium. So it'll be a fun weekend. Let's
talk national picture here for a second. Have you been in touch with Bruce Arena much?
Yeah, it's you know, touch up base every once in a while. It's been. I was very fortunate to get that January call-up for me, you know, after being out of the game for about a year. I was very fortunate and excited to get that January call-up and get my first game with the Crests close to my heart again. You know, it's to me, there's no better feeling in this world to wear one of those jerseys, and hopefully be in the pool for the next upcoming games, and get back to thinking that Russia can be a possibility.
Given your history and the experiences you've created for yourself abroad, what would your advice be to younger players coming through here in America that may want to go overseas, or would you encourage them to stay in an academy like Atlantis?
I think the MLS has actually really touched base with actually making these academies, you know, at a young age. So for me as a young player, it was my dream to be a professional soccer player at this level, but I had to do that going to different clubs where they really bred these kind of players from 8, 9 years old, staying in an academy for 12 years of their lives, you know. And I think that now that you really have this system, this academy system that the United States have, I think that we'll have a better chance of, you know, making this league even bigger than it already is. You know, it's a super competitive league now, and I think that really breeding these players at the best way possible can really make it even bigger. But you know, as a player, I think for myself, it was always a dream to play overseas, and I'm glad I was able to learn from so many different places. But as I said, it feels good to be home, but wouldn't mind traveling a few more countries as well in the future.
We ask everybody here on The Extra and at beIN Sports, simple question, Messi or Ronaldo?
Okay, I'm going to go talent of Messi and work rate of Ronaldo.
Get off the fence here, pick one.
You know, I've always been a Messi guy just to watch him. He's from a different planet, but Ronaldo's work rate is unreal. You know, you see the documentary, his movies, and just the way he works. He lives for himself. You know, I don't think many of us really realize how much he puts into it. So yeah, talent of Messi, work rate of Ronaldo.